Hey guys, my name is John Ivan and this is my 1970 Volkswagen Ghia project. I've been wanting to get you guys caught up on this for a while. Right at this point in time, I've had the engine in and out. It is a Honda powered K24a2 out of Acura TSX. I chopped the whole front end of the car off of out of a good working car. If you want to see that video and the reason why I did all this for this project, you can see one of the other videos that I have. But the reality is it just saves a lot of money, and it's going to have a lot more features than a lot of car would. One thing is you could take it to a Honda dealer to have it fixed. Another thing is going to have ABS brakes. So it's going to be pretty much just like the Acura was. So right now I have the roll cage in here, and this roll cage is more of a structural part of the car, because this down here is what is the frame from the Acura. So the chassis at the front part of the front clip of the Acura is on each side basically. So I had to tie it into the Ghia. And the best way to make that stronger was to actually make this roll cage right here. And this upper part is not really needed, except this right here adds structural rigidity to the shock towers. This also adds brackets for the seat belt adjusters that go up here, and that's actually off the Acura too. These brackets here really ties everything in really strong. These are the brackets that came from behind the back seat of the Acura. So basically this is the roll cage, ties everything in together and gets some of your energy down here going towards the front of the car, and basically keeps the car from snapping in half whenever you give it the throttle. So right now I'm actually making a piece. Right now I'm actually making a piece in this right here. Let me get my flashlight so you can see that better. So basically this is tying the Acura in to the Ghia, and it's a really strange piece. So I know it looks kind of like crap, but you know, so let me take this out. I'll show you what it is, because this is what I'm working on right now. So what we're looking at right here, this is the Ghia and this side right here, and this is the Acura on this side. And imagine making that in one piece up inside this hole right here, and that hole in the back part. So just imagine how much of a pain that would be to do it all in one piece anyway. And honestly, whenever you overlap the pieces, as long as you weld it on both sides, it's going to be even stronger than it would be out of one piece. So when it's all said and done, it's going to be really strong. These here are rivets in here because they're temporary pieces. I want to take this apart. I want to make patterns out of this and make a mirror image for the opposite side. So I'm going to start with taking these back off, and that allows me to make these patterns and mirror images, this other stuff, a little bit easier. And then when I get done making the other side, I can weld everything together, stick it back in the car, and weld it into the car. So that's the plan for that. As you can see, I already have the subframe for the Acura in the front of it. I had to make this roll bar piece come down and up to support the back part. This is actually where it normally mounts to the bottom of the front of the car where the firewall is. So I had to have that, or the engine would basically be floating in air. So the coilover towers, of course, like I showed you here, and then down here is the lower A-arms, and then up here is your upper A-arms. and the spindles are right here. The tires are actually going to stick out a little ways, so I'm going to do a wide body kit. So the plan is to get these 2 pieces made here for the corners, and then get this firewall piece fixed in here. After that's done, that pretty much ties in the car where it is not going to move right now, but you know, it really kind of solidifies everything. Once I get it solidified, I can get it sealed, get it primed, get everything to keep any moisture out from here on out. That way I can do preventative for rust, in other words. Then I can stick the motor back in, but for now I'm going to stick the coilovers. This is one of the coilovers that's actually welded to the ride height. I'm going to stick that back in there, put the wheels on it, and do my fenders. And then I can start working on the front. I want to try and get this to a roller before I put the motor back in. That's the plan. So this here is going to be air vents to let heat out of the engine bay on both sides. I'm going to make it with a screen mesh in here. These are going to be air channels when it's done. When I make the wide body, it's going to be air channels in here. One's going to be the intake for the engine. The other side is going to be air to push air through to keep the heat out of the engine bay. So at this point in time, that's where I'm going with it. So that's the whole project for now. Got a lot to go, got a lot to do. Stick with me and make sure you subscribe and like all those things, you know, and I'll post as much as I can. I'm a one-man show. I do everything, video editing, all that for now. But I do have a buddy of mine who's going to do some filming for me. We're going to do some really cool stuff with this Insta360 camera that I just got. And let's see how it works out. Have a good one.